What is going on, guys? It's your boy K Cross here, back with another video today, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at the MP5, which was probably the most popular gun, or at least the most anticipated gun coming into Cold War, because obviously in Modern Warfare it was just like a huge success and everybody used the MP5. Everybody knew that the MP5 was probably the brokest gun in the game, as in they patched it several times and it was still the best SMG. Like, it was leagues above almost every other SMG besides maybe the MP7, and their and the Fennec was good too, but it seemed to be like the overall best gun, the go-to gun, as like the M4 was for the assault rifles, the MP5 was for the SMGs. So basically everybody was kind of expecting the MP5 to be great, because why wouldn't it be? I mean, it's always been kind of a good gun in all the Call of Duties. It seems to have done very well, and this one was no different. I feel like the MP5 is probably, overall, like, best around in class, like, just overall, like, I don't know, I guess, what would I say that is? I guess all around, kind of, it can do, like, a jack of all trades type gun in its class. I think it was probably the best at that. It was probably the best at being, able to compete up in close range and still having that long range ability to where you can't get shredded by something that's like a low range assault rifle, for example. I feel like this thing still competed with the M4 at certain ranges, and that's really a good SMG. If it can compete at ranges like that. But it definitely, to me, it was not my favorite SMG overall. I think the Milano, or the Uzi type one, that one was my favorite, just because I felt like it was fast paced and it was just fun to use. It was kind of like how the Uzi is in Modern Warfare, but this thing actually did damage. I felt like the Uzi in Modern Warfare, just never got along. We just never clicked. So this one felt like a good version of the Uzi in Modern Warfare. It was fast paced, it was a little bit slower fire rate, but it had the damage to back it up, and it was overall probably the most SMG, you know what I mean? Whenever you think of an SMG, that thing was probably the closest thing to an SMG, right? And I think the MP5 though definitely was a close second in the favorites, because the MP5 was like I said, it was just so well rounded. I felt myself being able to use it in about any situation most of the time, not losing to actual fair fights, you know what I mean? Like, if someone was coming at me with a shotgun, I'm kind of screwed either way. The SPAS 12 is crazy, but whenever I mean that, I'm saying, if I'm getting into a one-on-one gunfight where we both see each other and we both shoot at each other and we're both using an AR or an SMG, then I feel like most of the time I would win the gunfight. You know what I mean? I feel like I had the upper hand with this gun as compared to most other guns in the game. Unfortunately, this gun is probably going to be the meta if you are just now getting to play the beta, or here lately have been playing the beta. You're probably going to notice that this gun is all over the place. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best gun in the game. I just think people like the gun because, like I said, it's pretty well rounded and it's just a cool gun. Overall, it looks cool, it sounds cool, feels good. People are going to use it if it meets those requirements, and I think you're going to run into it a lot. Now, I think it's definitely not the best gun in the SMG class. It is probably not even the best gun, or probably not even a top 3, honestly. It might be closer to the worst. It's between it and the KSP, I'd say, because the AK-74U definitely has the upper hand if you can handle it. It's kind of weird, because the AK-74U, to me, I didn't like near as much as I liked the MP5, but I will say that it was a better gun whenever I got it down, and I liked it more. Now, I'm not saying that this is a statistically proven thing or anything. I just feel like the AK-74U is better, and I feel like the Milano, if it's used in its comfort zone, is better. That's why the MP5 kind of wins. I think whenever it comes to just an overall gun, I think it would rank higher than in class. I think in its class it ranks lower, but in the overall gun rankings, it ranks higher. I don't know. It's really weird to explain, but I think you can kind of understand what I'm trying to say whenever I say that. It is a good gun still. It's just for an SMG, it's the long range SMG. I feel like it's probably, the like the assault rifle meshed with an SMG type SMG, like the blended one. The one that is the M13 in Modern Warfare is a good comparison. Now the M13's got a lot faster fire rate and it's a lot different of a gun, but it's that style of, it's like an SMG, but it's also like an AR, but it leans more, just a little bit more towards one way than the other. It's just that one gun that blends the two categories, right? Now it's not like the M13 at all, so don't get that part confused, but that's just what I'm saying, as in it blends two class type guns, right? It's like a kind of like the I'm not gonna make any more examples of that. That's kind of stupid, but you understand what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm like trying to explain so in depth for, but basically it is the overall like gun. It is the M4 of the SMG class. That's probably a way better way of putting it than how I'm putting it. And overall, I like the gun a lot. I think it is probably gonna be a lot better whenever the full game comes out. I only used it a little bit in the beta. I felt like it's definitely really good, but I feel like it'll probably get better. It'll probably get a buff, honestly, just because it's the MP5. People like to use the MP5, and Call of Duty just wants to satisfy people's likes, and it doesn't want to ever satisfy the sniper's likes, but it will satisfy the people's likes. I think people, are gonna have this thing all over the place. I think it's gonna be a big gun. Just again, in another Call of Duty, it's gonna be a big gun, and it is what it is. I'm fine with that. I like the gun a lot. I really like the style of the gun. I think the customization on the gun's really cool. There's a ton of clip options. There's a ton of options for sights and foregrip, stocks, and just like all the options are pretty cool. I feel like the gun is overall really cool. I really like the barrels on it. I really like the sound of the gun too. I think it's a very good sounding gun. I think just it's the MP5. I mean, how can you not like it? It's a great gun. It performs great. It is a great gun. Ultimately, if I'm going to make up a scale, which now I'm making up a scale because I'm going to do a few weapons here and there, I'm going to give the MP5 probably a 7.5 out of 10, just because, it's definitely really good. I just don't want to overrate it because I feel like it definitely has its flaws. You just can't really notice them in the maps that we were given and in the game modes that we were given. I feel like once we start to, get maps that are way tighter and way opener, I guess is the right word, way more open and way more condensed, I think it will start to show its weaknesses. You know what I mean? Because I think, if you get a map that's way more condensed, you're going to see that the Uzi is way better at, basically being an SMG, and I think you're also going to see on bigger and more open maps that the Krig will probably be the main thing and take down the MP5 if you're not ready. And that's fine because, the Krig is kind of made for that, and the MP5 isn't. And if you get the MP5 in the right spot on the map, obviously it's going to dominate. I think the MP5 will show its weaknesses, but so far we really haven't seen too many of them, I guess is what I'm trying to say, which is why I don't want to give it a rating of, 9, because I think, once we do see its weaknesses, I don't know how to speak, once we see those, it probably will, show that the gun's not as great as we think it is. And I ultimately think the gun will, like I said, I think the gun will get better. I think that they will make it a better long range SMG, because I think that's kind of what their intentions were whenever they made it. We'll have to see though. It's very moderate. Everything about it's very moderate. Has good sight picture, has good everything basically all around. It's just kind of like I said, that basic gun that the first unlock, basically. The M27 in Black Ops 2 is a good example. It's just an all-around gun. Everything about it is just all around. It's good. Good sight picture, good recoil, good damage, good rounds per minute. Everything about it is good. And that's kind of where the MP5 falls on my list. So, Yeah, I think what I say, 7.5. I'll go ahead and give it an 8 actually. 8 out of 10 on this gun. It is good, and it will definitely, if you're like just new to the game, you'll probably want to use it. You'll probably like it. It's definitely going to be a fan favorite. I think everybody's gonna like it. Everybody already does like it. I mean, you don't even have to make the gun good for people to use the MP5. It's such a cool gun. Like, it's just a really cool gun, and you know everybody wants to use it. Kind of like the M4. It's just like everybody likes the gun, so everybody uses it, and everybody likes the way it looks, so everybody uses it. Like, it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? But it's definitely got its weaknesses, so I give it an 8 out of 10. And really, at this point, that's all I have to say about it. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to seeing some more gun reviews, because that's what I'm gonna be doing for the next couple of days. I'm not gonna be doing every gun. I'm just gonna be doing like basic primary guns, not including snipers or LMGs. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace out.